subscribe, and like the video.
So I won't be posting this on my Instagram stories and crying about how Ethan just defames me on a daily basis with like easily identifiable lies that he himself knows the truth about, and therefore opens up a faucet of harassment by fans of his that come in here to tell me to kill myself, that they're going to walk me out back, find me in West Hollywood and shoot me in the head because they believe the lies that Ethan has said. If I was like him, if I was a whiny little baby like him, I'd be making a million videos about this, constantly crying about it and being like, see, this is what he's doing. Why does nobody care? This is what he's doing. And the difference between me and Ethan would be that I would be valid in actually talking about this because I have not done a fraction of the things that Ethan has done to me for the past 15 months at this point. Okay? That's the difference. And he mistakes my lack of interest in entertaining his drama slop loving ass for some sort of fear, I think. That's the difference.
Brothel is still in operation.
Yeah,
it's not like
this man went from making fun of Ryan Kavanaugh to becoming Ryan Kavanaugh. How the do his fans not realize that? He became everything he hates. He shit on Keemstar. Now he's aligned with Keemstar and turning into Keemstar. And it happened like so fast.
like, you know what I mean?
Total bullshit. I mean, what the why would he do that?
Well,
yeah, why would people do that?
like, you know what I mean?
Total bullshit. I mean, what the why would he do that?
Yeah, why would they do that? That's crazy. Why would Ethan do that? Is a question I ask myself all the time. Why would Ethan do this? What's the name of the union? Easily could figure it out so easy. Yeah.
I've talked to Palestinian journalists and they've like wanted me to come out.
Really? Wow. That. Oh my God.
And
Wait, what? So what? No counter to that? Just really wow. Oh my God, that's it. Okay.
I can't get any security assurances against Israel, obviously.
Well, bro, it's not like Israel
that is worried.
Look, it's not like Israel's going to do a precision strike on Hasan. They don't.
Really? Now, why would he say that? The notion that Israel would not do that is insane. You must not have been paying any attention to what Israel has been doing. You must not have paid attention to the conversations that you and I had over Israel doing exactly that to Shireen Abu Akleh. That was one of the last episodes that we ever filmed of The Leftovers, post-October 7. Israel has killed American citizens. Israel, and Shireen Abu Akleh was an American legal permanent resident as well. I talked to him about this. He knows this. I talked to him on camera.
Yeah,
but it is dangerous. It's a war zone. Like, I agree, it's dangerous.
Sure, it's a war zone.
They may.
But what?
He was in the running for anti-Semite of the year. They may.
Nah,
I don't think you guys understand Israel. It doesn't work like that.
They're not.
Oh, it doesn't work like that. We just simply didn't understand Israel. No, I think it's because we do understand Israel and we know that it works like that. I think it is you who doesn't understand Israel or refuses to understand what Israel does. Now, if this wasn't dovetailing on a faucet of misinformation, in this circumstance, I wouldn't care about it. I'd be like, oh, there must be a mistake and it's fine. I'd be more charitable. But at this point, I know that this is in defense of Israel. Okay? This is no longer stupidity. It's malicious. That's it. There was a point in time where I would have considered this just like, oh, they just don't know. They don't know. It's fine. Like, I can have a conversation with them. Also, this is textbook defamation by Ethan. He provably knows what he's saying about you is a lie, as shown in this 2021 clip, but he still parrots a known lie with the intent to try and ruin your image. I know.
It's not. But regardless, I agree it's dangerous, right?
Yeah.
It's dangerous in a war zone.
Right.
Not because Israel will like target him.
Yeah. It's dangerous in a war zone. Israel won't target him. It'll just be a casualty due to the oopsies that Israel does.
Which they deny here as well. They do precision strikes on Palestinians who send mean things in English on...
Doing this is what made me realize he's so wrong. I thought about his defense of Israeli civilians, but no, he only cares about himself and is personally upset about what I really don't know. But is stupid and cowardly, and as a man who has 3 kids and a wife and 4 dogs, I can't respect anything he does as a grown 40-year-old man anymore. Is so sad. I mean, he's been doing this nonstop. He has not stopped doing this. And it's like it becomes like increasingly funnier ways in which he basically humiliates himself. That's the craziest aspect of it, is that it's becoming increasingly dumber shit, like saying that my glasses are fake. Like, what the
about Israel on social media as well. They literally target them in their house. Like, I think in this they talk about like Israel doesn't do that to journalists.
Yeah, we just
made
watched
a
that
joke
clip.
about it.
Lots of
Because like I've talked to Palestinian journalists and they've like wanted me to come out.
really wow. That oh my god.
And
That's your reaction to that?
I can't.
I mean,
get any
obviously they want people to come, but they can't.
security assurances against Israel. Obviously,
Well, bro, it's not like Israel.
that is worried
Look,
about.
it's not like Israel's going to do a precision strike on Hasan. They don't.
Yeah,
but
I
it is
don't-
dangerous. It's a war zone.
Israel does precision strikes on people, like for basically anything. Israel, for example, they have a population registry. They know where everyone lives, or at least where they lived before they destroyed their house. They did a precision strike on the family home, for example, of Refat Al-Arir, who was a Palestinian poet slash basically guy who spammed about how Israel is bad on social media during the. They knew
Yeah,
where he
Refat Al-Rar was directly targeted, him and his family, because Barry Weiss put a hit on him.
lived. They targeted his house because he was posting tweets about Gaza, about what was happening in Gaza from Gaza. And he was literally deliberately targeted in his house. This is not one occurrence. They precisely target journalists. Gaza is like so.
Yeah. Israeli military accused of targeting journalists and their families. This was a year ago, okay? This was when they had killed only 68 journalists. I say only because they've killed 100 now. They've killed almost 300 aid workers, I think 300. It might be a little bit more than that. They've killed hundreds of journalists, hundreds of aid workers, and they've deliberately targeted them in the process too. It's not like it's just a war zone. That right there is not so subtle denial, by the way. Because, it's a war zone. It's not a...
Impossibly dangerous for journalists compared to anywhere else in the world, that like more journalists have been killed there than have been killed in like 20 years of the Mexican drug war. It is completely unprecedented. They are very specifically targeted for their journalism. This is also not counting things like social media influencers, many of whom have been precisely targeted in their family homes. They are tracked, they are killed.
Yeah, like Meadow, who was who was assassinated in an internet cafe. They killed him. He was in an internet cafe. He was also a member of this community as well. Like, these guys they're insane. Anyone who defends them are insane.
They are specifically killed when their family is there with them. To say that like they wouldn't target a foreigner, Israel does very much target anyone in Gaza who they think they can reasonably kill. Because they never face any consequences for that, and they know it. They would 100% assassinate like a foreign anti-Israel journalist if they thought they could get away with it. And Gaza is the situation where they're most likely to get away with it.
Like, I agree, it's dangerous.
They might. It's a war zone.
It's dangerous because it's a war zone, says here Klein, the Raider Ramallah war criminal.
But what?
He was
It's just a
in
war
the
zone,
running
not
for
because they target journalists, not because they massacre children.
anti-Semite of the year. They may.
Nah,
And
it's
I
a
don't think
different
you guys
world.
understand
Yeah, it's a
Israel. It
different
doesn't work
world.
like that
They're
there.
not.
Israel doesn't work like that. Why not? Because the genocidal Zionist said so. Well, that's a good source. I believe that.
It's not. But regardless, I agree. It's dangerous, right?
Yeah.
It's dangerous in a war zone.
It's just
Right.
dangerous in a war zone. I mean, this
Yeah, this is denial. Like, I think I don't think she's being stupid.
Well,
I think she's
bro,
being malicious. And yeah, it's also extra fucked up that Ethan goes along with it because, as this user says, Hasan actually cried on their pockets, explaining to them the intentional targeting and assassination of Shireen Abu Akleh, an American legal permanent resident as well, by the way. And here they are all laughing and joking about the exact same scenario. Before Shireen, it was Tom Herndal. If you're a journalist that supports Palestinians, even one with American or British citizenship, the IDF will shoot you in the head, be shielded from consequences by the U.S. and the Israeli government, and then laugh about your murder. Yeah, remember when all the people that Ethan is now aligned with made fun of me for crying there, by the way, and they said that it was fake. I was crying because Ethan was crying. I remember all those animals. But hey, remember, they're just like apolitical. They're just apolitical guys. They're not pro-Israel, you know? That was the only thing that Destiny, the Oreo guy, whatever his name is, like all of those orbiters, every single one of them was just basically laser focused on the conversation that me and Ethan were having, not even talking about the things that I was saying, but instead we're talking about my reactions. I was being too mean to Ethan when I certainly was not being mean to Ethan at all. No, they're not being paid by Israel, Shadows. What the f are you talking about? No, I think this is sillier than that. That makes too much sense. I think it's legitimately because as a narcissist, Ethan can't handle the fact that people don't think he's a brilliant advocate for progress because he is dick riding an apartheid state that's doing it into oblivion, and he can't contend with that. If it was about money, if it was about drama farming for the pure monetary purpose, he would have dropped this a long ass time ago. Okay? He would have dropped it a long time ago. No, this is pure petty, vindictive, malicious smearing. He's burning through his audience, dude. He's willing to go all out. He's willing to lose Instagram followers because he's constantly chirping about this shit. He's willing to lose sponsorships because he's constantly chirping about this shit. He's willing to lose subscribers because he's constantly chirping about this shit. Yeah, Willie Mac, Turkey Tom, Nick Eats Oreos, Chud Logic, Sloppers That Need E for Views. Yeah, all those. I don't even know half these dudes, but yeah, those guys. His employees are leaving. His view counts are down. Nothing will stop this man. He can have 30 people watching him and he'll still do this. Because for him, it's just like, it's psychotic. Like, it's just not, it's not about money, I think. Yeah, he's lost 170,000 subs. He lost subs with the content nuke. It's truly insane. Like, he would nuke his own career, and he doesn't even care.
Statistically, that is proven wrong.
Also, he can defend a genocidal apartheid state. It is crazy.
Okay, let's look, for example, how many journalists died in...
You realize this means he will be forced to pivot to full-time anti-Hasan content as a way to keep the lights on? First of all, I think he has enough money to never make videos ever again and still be fine. That's number one. Number two, he already is doing that. That's my point. He is literally doing that every day. Every time he goes live, he does that every single time, and he's doing it at a detriment to his own community. Like, his community is completely gone. The remainder stands are the foot soldiers that carried over, that will, they're his fedayeen. They're not very knowledgeable on politics, and they'll just fight his battles for him. They're the girly pop nation that will go and like viciously dox and say horrible things to people that Ethan has in his crosshairs. But outside of that, the remainder of his like 10K, if his fan base, if his core fan base now is like 20K average viewers, right? 10,000 of them are just like the slop tuber orbiters that are constantly looking for a new lol cow, and have been for the past couple of years at this point, hoping that I become this lol cow. So Ethan is like continuing that battle for them. Okay. This man used to have like 40K on a bad day. His podcast used to have 40K on a bad day. He's getting half of that now. It's crazy. And it's like he's lost his core fan base because they were all progressive. They came in after frenemies and like they liked that Ethan had progressive values, and many of them could not contend with the fact that Ethan was just like constantly saying stuff that was very suspicious about Israel, that didn't seem all too progressive. And now the mask is completely off. And I don't even know if it was like, I don't even know if he was I don't think he was pro-Israel before October 7th to this degree. I think this is like a new phenomena in his world. I'm not even at this point, I'm not even sad like, oh, I lost a friend. Like, that's sad, sure. But I think it's more sad that his community used to be a fairly robust, fairly large, progressive community. And at a time when Donald Trump is running his dick through the federal agencies and ruining the goddamn country, now there's another, centrist, right-wing adjacent content creator. Like, this sucks. Like, think about that. Under normal circumstances, someone who claims to be pro-Palestine, would they be occupying themselves with, like, making a joke about how Israel would never kill journalists? What are you talking about? Or would they be talking about how the Trump administration has unjustifiably deported and also locked up American legal permanent residents, green card holders, and have deported students on student visas for being in the proximity of a pro-Palestinian protest. Like, what do you think is more important to the pro-Palestinian cause if you claim to be a pro-Palestinian advocate? Coming after me in increasingly sillier ways, in increasingly more personal ways, like smearing me all the time, thinking about me when I'm not even the subject matter. Like, this dude literally brought my name up. He brought my name up while talking about a Republican congressperson. Like, that's insane. Like, that's the image that you want your fans to associate with me. Like, I get it. You want them to hate me as much as you do, but god damn, dude. Trump agrees with him about his most important issue, supporting the Israeli and targeting pro-Palestinian people. Yeah, I mean, the Trump admin is just locking up random people. He also said you probably called him the K-slur. That's insane. Did you know that Ethan's stream is constantly on the Hasan viewers also watch recommendations for your stream? Great. I don't care. I don't think anyone that watches my content is, if you watch what I talk about with regular frequency, I don't think you're gonna entertain the insane shit that Ethan says. You're gonna be like, what the wait, why is the Vape Nation guy doing Hasbara, doing insane defense for the apartheid state? Like, if you're a fan of mine and then you encounter any Ethan Klein video, you're gonna be like, what the the f is this?
In the entire Iraq war, 282 journalists have been killed in Iraq in general in 20 years. In Gaza, 150 journalists were killed in less than a year. This is like by far the deadliest period of, and this is only journalists again. It doesn't count people like Refat Al-Arif. It doesn't count like the social media influencers who they've also targeted. It doesn't count the foreign aid workers.
From Vape Nation to defending Nation. Has Ethan talked about the pro riots, the pro January 6th in Israel? I don't think so. Maybe he did. I don't know.
Who they've also targeted, obviously, before they can get out and talk about what they saw. So there are many reasons why someone cannot simply go to Gaza, even if they did want to go there, even if they did want to take the immense risk of doing so. Reason one, Israel doesn't let you into Israel in the first place, and in order to get into Gaza or the West Bank, you have to go through Israel because Israel occupies Gaza and the West Bank. They're completely under Israeli control, obviously. What else? If you somehow did manage to get into Gaza, you would be killed. More than likely, you would just be killed.
No, Ethan totally thinks Netanyahu's the agent of genocide. It's why he has no issue with the Dems giving him a standing ovation and infinite arms, still fully supports them, whilst he'll never forgive you for saying Nasrallah's smart for saying Jews don't control the U.S. government. Yeah, he probably hates me more for that because he's like, how dare you show Hasan Nasrallah in his words about how Arabs are being anti-Semitic when they say Arabs are being dumb and anti-Semitic when they say Jews control the U.S. It's the other way around. It's the U.S. that controls Israel. Israel's an agent of the United States and Western imperialism.
Killed. Obviously, Israel carpet bombs the entire place. They're trying to eliminate the Palestinian people of Gaza. So yeah. You go there, you probably get.
Anyway, this is not an opportunity for you guys to just like link every dumb thing that he has said. Okay, I don't want you to do that. We're done with this segment. Okay, I don't want to do an entire segment dedicated to Ethan. And every time I talk about Ethan, all the usual suspects come in and they go, "See, he said this about you. He said that about you." Okay, you know. Hasan tells people he's a commie, then proceeds to live in a multi-million-dollar house and indulging in material possessions. Go donate your entire bank account to charity. Go move to the CCP. All bark, no action. What a disgrace. Typical neo-communist liberal. Indulging in material possessions. This man is so honest about his stupidity. I respect it. He's like, communism literally means, first of all, I don't think I'm a communist, but but he literally said communism means you can't own anything. Respect.
Killed. Telling someone to go to Gaza is a death threat. It's like saying get in the oven. And these guys are just saying it openly. But again, that's besides the point, because the idea that you could even somehow get into Israel, let alone Gaza, is in the first place.
Yeah, he said move to the CCP, which is also very funny. How the do I move to the CCP? All right.
My medication,
let's get back to the hogs who are upset. about voting for Donald Trump. They voted for Trump. They feel betrayed. I'm going to do hogwash, but I got to pee first.
$20,000 a month without insurance. I make $800 a month. Oh, that will kill me. That would kill my friends. That would kill millions of people in this country if they lose their health care.
We're in California's District 22, a rural community in the state's Central Valley. This district voted for Trump for the first time in 2024, but now his policies threaten one of the benefits people here rely on the most.
It bothers me when people like Elon Musk say that people on those programs are the parasite class. It's just cruel.
Do you know anyone personally who voted for President Trump but depends on benefits like Medicaid?
Oh yeah. I know a lot of people.
Trump promised a lot of things. I thought it would be more family values and those programs that they really need here.
One of those promises was to protect Medicaid, which 67% of people in this district rely on. It's the largest percentage of any district in the entire country.
Can you guarantee that Medicare and Medicaid will not be touched?
Yeah, I mean, I have said it so many times, we're not going to touch it.
But his administration just proposed an $880 billion cut to Medicaid over the next 10 years. So we wanted to come here to find out how people are feeling about Trump and his administration's decision that could have a huge impact on one of the benefits they rely on the most. One resident who would be impacted by Medicaid cuts is 64-year-old Irma Arredondo, who voted for Trump in 2024. Irma has several chronic health issues, including type 1 diabetes. She's also a full-time caregiver for her daughter, who has cerebral palsy, and her sister, who has Turner syndrome.
Valerie have her medication for her seizures. She needs care everything. And I just give massage to her hands, to her legs. I stay with her until she falls asleep.
Sounds like you take really good care of her.
Oh, and my baby is my dog.
So you, your sister Irene, and your daughter Valerie, you're all on Medicaid. And how important is Medicaid for your family?
Wow, can you imagine? We live on a daily basis with sicknesses. This is for the cholesterol too. This is also for my blood pressure.
So Medicaid pays for all of it?
Yes.
If you didn't have Medicaid, how much would this cost you? How much money?
Oh, thousands maybe.
Thousands.
Thousands.
And that's just for you?
Just for me.
Not for your daughter? Not for your sister?
No. The medicine that my daughter takes for seizures.
Republicans are the most successful con artists. How the f do you convince this girl to vote for Trump? People don't have any hope. I don't know. It's just like, when I watch stuff like this, I'm just reminded of the failure of the Democrats once again. I know people will say, Hasan, you just shit on the Democrats all the time, but like the Democrats lost these people to Trump. It's important to try and understand the severity of their failure.
Won't be able to afford it. So we feel hopeless if those cuts come, you know. What we're going to do.
Irma was a farm worker for more than a decade. She believes that some of her and her children's health issues can be linked to the pesticides she was exposed to while working in the fields.
When I was pregnant with my child, I was working in the field. I remember it was this little airplane and sprayed us. But when my baby born, the doctor just said, "Uh-oh, something's missing." And when he gave me my baby doesn't have her arm.